Hi everyone, we are continuing with our series about online ratings and reviews today. And if you missed the first one where we graded responses to reviews, then have a look back at it here because we will definitely reference it today. Just like everyone else on the planet, I am obsessed with reading reviews before purchasing. Like, obsessed. And just like all the research out there says, I probably am not going to buy something or I'm not going to eat somewhere or go somewhere if there's enough bad reviews. They heavily influence my decisions and everyone else's decisions about where to go. So because of that, it is absolutely essential that you address your bad reviews online, and you can also treat those as your golden opportunity. Hi folks, my name is Claire Cunningham. I am a customer service expert, the founder of the Customer Connection, and I am here to help you improve your bottom line by putting the focus on the customer. Bad reviews. If your company deserves it, I love to give it. If you give me shit service or a shit product, I am putting you on blast for all to see, especially if you did not fix it after I tried to address it with you. As you can probably imagine, I am pretty critical of bad service in particular, and I am not alone. People leave bad reviews for a good reason, especially if you deserve it. However, we can also acknowledge that there are people out there that just are never pleased with anything, or they go and they leave spammy or fake reviews on accounts just to be absolute turds, honestly. So what can you do about bad reviews or fake reviews? Well, first things first, assess it and investigate. Is this even a real review? Did this actually happen? Is it a competitor or a former disgruntled employee? It's important that you find that out before your next step. If you realize it actually is spam or like a fake review, something from a former employee, you actually have actions that you can take. Most platforms have a way for you to report fake reviews. All you need to do is report and provide why you know it's fake. If the platform also believes that it's fake, then they will remove that pretty quickly. And side note, I think if it is a former employee leaving a review on your page, I think that breaks reviewing guidelines, so you can say that it's a former employee and they will take that off as well. Sometimes it also takes a village to report things, so you might do it on your own, but if that's not getting any traction, then make sure you ask your friends, your family, the other colleagues at your business to go report that fake review. The more reports on a specific review, the more likely it is to get removed. And there you go. Problem solved. No more fake, spammy competitor, former employee review. Done. However, you see a real review from a real customer and you go confirm with your staff and they confirm that yes, this is a real person that actually came in and this happened. Then what? Well, you need to investigate at that point. Talk to everyone who was there, who remembers anything, get to the bottom of that story, find out what actually happened. What did the customer actually want? What solutions were provided by your staff? Was the customer rude? Did the customer not even say anything? You need to find out the answers to those questions. So get the whole story before the next step. Respond, and respond quickly. Don't just leave that review hanging out there for all to see. That is a big mistake. When you see a negative review of your business go up, you need to act quickly, but respond carefully. If you are mad or you're offended or whatever, then wait until you calm down before you write your response. But remember that timing is everything. So if you wait too long, then that's a big old matzo ball hanging out there for all these potential customers to be reading with no rebuttal from you. It'll just sit there and stew in their minds, that negative review of that restaurant or product or service. Don't let that happen. The longer it sits out there for the whole world to see, the more customers are being driven away. What do you say? How do you respond to that? Is the best response, screw you, or you're a terrible customer, or you're wrong, that didn't happen? No, you dodo, don't say that unless you want to double down on driving away potential customers. You've established the story, you're confident you know what happened, so put yourself in their shoes and go ahead and apologize. If they really did have to wait an absurd amount of time for their order and then the food came out wrong, then be sympathetic and apologize, because that really actually does suck. If they genuinely experienced a lower standard of service than you usually provide, then go ahead and sacrifice your ego on the altar of Google and apologize to them. Now, when shouldn't you apologize? When the customer was being an absolute asshat. We have all experienced times when people just walked in the door looking for a fight and they were absolutely horrid. These type of people do not deserve an apology. With those types of people, you can skip the apology part of the response, or you can give them that half-hearted apology of, "I'm sorry you feel that way," and then you can go right to the next step. Address the situation and acknowledge their feelings. You can point out that what happened was inconsistent with your service standards because of a one-off incident that happened that day. Or you can point out all of the things that you did to try to correct the situation for that customer in particular. This is also a really good time to acknowledge if the customer was the problem. And the best way to do that, see the 4th example in the previous video we did on responses. This is your opportunity to try to turn the tables back in your favor, even if you were the one that messed up. But when you are responding, try to keep it pretty short, no more than 1 or 2 sentences to address that situation and what you did to correct it. Then wrap up your response with an invitation back to your establishment or to try your service again free of charge so that you can show them what a good job that you can do. Then you should provide a way for them to contact you if they want to take further action. Ask them to reach out to you or someone with authority so that you can rectify the issue for them. If you can correct the problem and regain their trust as a customer and get them coming back to your establishment, you've actually probably created a customer for life. People love it when establishments go out of their way to correct a problem. Generally, the idea of responding to a negative review online is to neutralize the review so it doesn't affect the decisions of other customers to come to you. However, there are so many opportunities out there to respond to negative reviews that actually turn the tables so far in your favor that people want to come to your establishment simply because of your response to the review. When you are responding to reviews, never underestimate the power of humor in your responses. Sometimes that can be the tipping point from neutralizing a review to making it a positive response, which is really, really what you want to aim for. When you're responding to reviews, there's a whole bunch of things you need to fit in there. Apologize, acknowledge the situation, what did you do to address it, invite them back to try it again, and give them a way to contact you. However, all of that needs to be kept super short. Keep it like 3 to 4 sentences max, because otherwise you're gonna hit that too long didn't read, which is just as good as not responding, if you ask me. And always be polite in the response tone, even to the asshats, because you'll just make yourself look better and them look worse. Now, what is your golden opportunity with negative reviews? You can use negative reviews to improve your product or service offering. Look at negative reviews as your opportunity for free feedback rather than having to pay someone like me or another company to tell you what is wrong with your product or service. It's pretty obvious if it's right there. Reframe what you're seeing in your mind and say, "Oh, thank you so much for telling me what I can do to make this better." What is something that people are consistently complaining about? Is it an employee's attitude in particular that's always really terrible? Or is it a feature of the product that's always breaking? Use these to find and fix your weak spots. You can even take this and spin this as a good news story in the future. "We've heard your reviews and now we've fixed the lid on our cups so they no longer leak anymore." Wouldn't that be a joy to see? There are countless opportunities when reading negative reviews as long as you reframe them in your mind as a way to improve. You just have to keep an eye out for them. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe for more fun and practical content.